morning, everyone. Hi, Sherry. You're the first one on. And then we have Jean and Connie. Welcome. It's great to see you here. Making sure I don't have lipstick on my teeth. The bane of my existence, but I won't stop wearing it. Hi, Jewel. Hello, Linda. Good morning, everyone. So nice to have you here. Wow, we have a lot of people already jumping on. Woohoo! We are going to do a card with the Itty Bitty Christmas bundle. And it's so funny because I think we were halfway through the holiday catalog period before I even realized there were thinlits associated with the stamp set. Somehow or another, I had ordered the stamp set, but then had never ordered the corresponding dies. And when I got them, I just loved them. And so I quickly made a card, and that was actually my swap card that I used for my downline team swap this past month in November. And then I also took it with me to Atlanta, and we did a team, well, it was a tailgate party that my friend Monica Davis put on, and she had us swapping there. So it was my swap for that too. Hello, Carol. Hi. Hello. Hi, Lynn. Oh, good to see you. Lynn, I got your card. I have it, and I'm going to be showing it off. Well, I think I'm going to be showing it off. Where the heck? It should be here somewhere. Oh, dear. I got like a bunch of cards in the mail, and I was trying to take some notes on various stamp sets that they use, and now I don't see the cards. Give me a second. I'm going to look for them. They must be over on the counter. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I do not. Oh, here they are. On a different counter. I have two counters in my room. I really was checking over my desk to make sure I had everything on there that I needed today. And of course, no, I did not. But what else is new? But I have them now, so maybe we'll have a jump up free day. We'll see. I almost did not come on today to do this Facebook Live. I like to remain really flexible about whether or not I'm doing one. Well, today the weather is going to be taking a turn, which means I can't do my normal grocery shopping that I was planning on to tomorrow. I have to do it today because my husband's planning not to even to go into work tomorrow. That's how big this snowstorm that's coming is going to be. So I bet you guys will never guess what I'll be doing after I get done with this Facebook Live. Yes, I am going to go grocery shopping, but not right away. I'm going to go outside and trim trees, because if I don't get these trees trimmed now, then I have to wait for spring. So right now the ground is snow free, but as of tomorrow at this time, there'll probably be about a foot of snow on the ground, and then it makes trimming trees kind of hard. So that is my plan. Oh, goodness. Welcome. Oh, you guys are already sharing. Thank you. What am I giving away? I'm going to give away some ribbon again, just because it's so nice and easy to wrap around the card. And it's our braided trim ribbon, which is one of my all-time favorites. Looks great on masculine card. Looks great on nature cards, fall cards. I love it. And so I'll do that as the giveaway. And we're going to be using some metallic pearls on this card, which is another one of my embellishment favorites. And I'm going to flip the camera down and show you a picture of the new spring mini catalog that's going to be coming out in January. And so I want to show you a picture of it. I can't show you any inside pages. I have gotten my order. And so I am going to be slowly over time sharing some things that I've gotten on that order. So I'm pretty excited. In fact, one of my assistants is coming over today, and she's going to take home a whole bunch of swap cards to working on, because this coming December, when we do our monthly demonstrator meeting, all of my top 10s will get a card made from the holiday or the new spring catalog, and then my swappers that I'm swapping with in December will also get something from the new spring catalog. So I'm pretty excited about it. So let me go ahead and flip this down and we'll get started. This is the gorgeous, gorgeous January through June 2020 mini catalog. And I'm so excited about it. It's just beautiful. Of course, we were showing this catalog when we went to on stage, and I happen to be at the Atlanta on stage, and it's just beautiful. We made some wonderful projects that Stampin' Up, you know, provided for us, so we got our hands right into the ink and right into the stamp sets. And I must encourage you, I know I have quite a few customers that jump on here and watch, and I just know, because I know you have, when you get this catalog in your hands, you are going to go crazy, and your wish list is going to be a mile long. So I really recommend joining Stampin' Up, giving it a try, and just, you know, it's not a big deal, you guys. You just purchase the starter kit, and you can order things at cost, and if you decide you enjoy getting that discount, you can just stay in. You don't have to sell anything. You can just be very much a minimal purchaser. However, you'll get to be a part of my team, which I think is a big perk. So this is it. And again, I encourage you to think about joining Stampin' Up. And you know what? If you join, you know, now or in early December, you can put, not now, I should say when you join in December, you'll be able to put items from our demonstrator pre-order into your starter kit. So I think that's such a perk. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And then I'm going to share some cards I got in the mail. The first card that I want to share with you is this one. It's a beautiful Thanksgiving card from my dear friend Lynn Washer, who actually lives in Atlanta, and my husband and I got together with her for lunch while I was down there. And so this is such a pretty card. She made it with a paper pumpkin kit that came out this fall, and one of the things I love about it, of course, this is not a kit card. She actually did an alternative project. And I love the wreath. I love the way she threw the Happy Thanksgiving over the top of that. But I also love the way she embossed part of it. So she has the Merry Merlot paper down here and embossed it with the layered leaves. And I think that is such a beautiful look. And then, of course, all of these maroon and gold colors. Well, that's pretty Minnesotan since our Minnesota Gophers team is maroon and gold. So I especially love this card just for that. So thank you so much, Lynn. And thank you also for the lovely, lovely gift card. I already thanked you for that on an email, but you know I'll be enjoying that while I'm getting groceries. All right, so let's put this one away. And then I have a card to share with you from another person named Lynn. And this is Lynn Newton, and she lives in Hayward, Wisconsin, and she's part of my Creative Crafters Stamping to Share team in my downline, and she wanted to send this colorful seasons card to me because she said it's her favorite stamp set, and her, of course, it has a set of coordinating dies, and look at how gorgeous this is with the sponging on these leaves. And then, of course, she gold embossed it over the top, so it's even more incredibly gorgeous. So I'm going to hold this up a little bit closer to the camera so that you can really get the details of these beautiful fall leaves. So let me stand up here. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, the time and the care that went into creating that is just stunning. So thank you so much, Lynn Newton, for sending me this really wonderful Thanksgiving card and for your kind words that you wrote on the inside. She said she loves being part of my downline. Well, I love having Lynn in my downline, so thank you so much. Here is another card I received from a downline member. This one is more local, so she attends my monthly meetings in person, and this is a stamp set that we had available, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It was in the fall. I think it was called Pheasants Forever. I loved mine so much. I actually have it at the cabin because it's just one of those stamp sets I'm not going to get rid of. And I love it. Of course, I grew up in a hunting family, so, you know, I ate quite a few pheasants growing up. Not recently, but I do enjoy a good meal of pheasant. And they're so beautiful, of course. You have to be a little careful when you're driving around in the country because they're pretty easy to hit. They don't always fly away very quickly, so you're kind of on the lookout for them when you're out driving around. But they are beautiful, and I love them. We often will feed them corn throughout the winter, especially as the snow gets deeper and they have a harder time finding grain. So here we go. We'll put that one aside. Thank you so much, Mary Smallage, for the beautiful card. I love it. And our final card here is from one of my customers, Elaine Wheeler, who lives locally to me, and she sent me this gorgeous Daisy Delight card. And I always forget to do this. I have never done this, and I really should. I love how she folded the daisy over. Well, actually, I think she just layered 2 daisy and cut the top half off, but it kind of looks like it's folded over. It's so cute. And I love that. And I don't know why I don't think to do that, but Elaine, you inspire me. So thank you very much. Of course, a little cute Thanksgiving card. And she always sends it to my husband too. So she always addresses him on the inside and on the envelope. So I really appreciate that. So it's a card for the whole family. So thank you so much, Elaine. You're always so sweet to me, sending me cards in the mail, and I love it. All right, so let us look at a couple other things. We are going to be using on this card. So this is the card we're going to make, and you'll notice the paper has little snowflakes scattered about in it on the little twig here. So let me hold it up to the camera so you can actually see that. And I am using the Let It Snow Specialty Designer Series paper. Now this is all part of the Let It Snow product suite that you can find in our holiday catalog. So I've got a couple of cards to share with you that do use this product suite, and I want to share with you. Now this isn't the card we're making today, but I do want to share this because it's something that's still available. Oh my gosh, there are so many things going on low inventory, or they are no longer orderable. So far, all of this is still orderable. And it's the Snowman Season Bundle with the cute little snowman builder punch, the cute stamp set, and then of course the really gorgeous Specialty Designer Series paper. And I'm going to set this aside for a minute because I want to show you a couple of cards that were made with that product suite. And the first one that I want to show is one made by Leishman Williams, and I got this in the swap that I participated in down in Atlanta. And it's so cute. And just to think that she did all this extra work for a swap really impressed me. But she made a background with our shimmer paste through the pattern part. I think it's Pattern Party Mass. And I have to bring it up to the camera so you can see the sparkle and how gorgeous this is. So let me bring it up. Isn't that absolutely lovely? She did this on at least 15 cards. So I was very impressed. And then I love the snowbank she has here. And then she put a little halo of vellum around the snowman that way he stands out from the background of the card. That's a really smart thing to do. So I love this design, and it's just cute. So thank you so much, Leishman, for creating this really lovely swap card. I've really enjoyed it. And then another card was created by another swapper from Atlanta named Hillary Sosby. And this is kind of a fun fold card. So she took the Let It Snow Designer Series paper and she put it on a really cute fold card. So remember how I had the gleaming Christmas, and mine was kind of like this. So it opened like this. So I had the narrow side to this side. Well, you can do it the other way too. So we have the narrow side on this side with your cutout here, and this is the little dog punch, and he's got all of these cute little snowman things on. So instead of using the snowman, you can put all of these cute little embellishments from the Let It Snow embellishment kit onto a dog punch, and it looks so cute. And so I love that. And so then it opens like this, which I think is really cool. Great little fun fancy fold card. So cute. All right, so let me see am I all done showing off things? Well, not quite. There's one more thing I want to show you, and that is the Still Scenes bundle. And why am I showing you this? Because when you open up my card, well, and even on here, you'll notice I have some little snowflakes stamped in crumb cake on top of crumb cake, and I used the little scatter of snow from the Still Scenes stamp set. And then on the inside panel, you'll notice there's a sentiment here. And I used the sentiment from Still Scenes on the inside panel. Now, I recently made the most gorgeous card with Still Scenes, and I gave it to, I believe it was my top 10 last month, and then I made a few extra to send to some of my downline members and to a few customers. And I'm going to be sharing that card with you next week. So this will be making a comeback here next week when I'm back into my normal routine. So let's go ahead and create this really cute itty bitty Christmas card for you. And here are the supplies we're going to use. So we've got the itty bitty Christmas bundle. So it includes a stamp set with all of these cute little sentiments. And they're smaller sentiments, so they fit really nicely on the front of a card when you have a lot to show off. And sometimes, you know, if the sentiment's too big, then you don't have room to show off all the other things you want to put on your card. So they're little sentiments, which I really like. And then here is the coordinating. Well, it's not really coordinating because it doesn't actually match anything, but it sort of goes with this so that you can have some decoration in the background behind your itty bitty sentiments. And so we're going to be using this sprig that looks like this. That's the one that we'll be using on the card today. So let me set that aside and we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I think we're going to do is just get the inside done and out of the way so I have a little more room here on my desk. So what I did is I took some Coastal Cabana paper, and it's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. And I'm making 2 cards because I'll do a giveaway to 2 people tomorrow morning. So that is when you can look for me to put that up. And of course, that'll be on my Stamping to Share Facebook page. And if you haven't already liked my page, give it a little like so that you can be part of these videos as I do them. I also have a group called Happy Stampers Stamping to Share. And I do let, the group is nice because you kind of get the notices of when things are happening. So let me grab the inside panel for these cards, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is using shimmery white paper. Now, I also made a bunch of these cards just using regular Whisper white paper. So when I do my free PDF on my blog post, which I'm not even sure when that's going to go up, but I will have the Whisper white paper in there. But I really wanted to up my game because these are going to be my giveaway cards from this video. So I'm using the shimmery white paper. And then we just took a little bit of the paper from the Let It Snow Designer Series Specialty Paper Pack, and this is 3/4 inches by 4 inches. And I'm just gonna set these down right here on the sides of this panel. So let me go ahead and we'll use a little little multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll just set this in just like this. And we'll wiggle that into place so it looks like it's a perfect fit here. And we're going to do the same thing to this one. Then we'll do our stamping. And then we'll put this inside our cards, and then I'll have this off my desk so I can focus on other things that we need to focus on to create this card. So cute. I love these little tiny red snowflakes that are scattered through this particular design because I'm going to stamp the sentiment in red, and I kind of like how all of that coordinates. So here's our real red ink pad. And then we're going to grab our sentiment. And remember, this is from the Still Scenes stamp set, which I'm just putting out there that if you get this Still Scenes, you're also going to want to just go ahead and purchase the coordinating dies that go with it. So there's the first sentiment. Here's the second. And there we go. Stamped in real red. Looks lovely. All right, so Yvonne is saying the card looks very elegant. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. And we've got people watching from all over, and you're sharing. Wow, thank you, you guys, so much. I really appreciate it. You know, when you share this video, it really is a way to help me out. It helps me find new viewers like you who watch these Facebook Lives, and then it also sometimes helps me find a new customer once in a while, so I love that too. I do run my entire business pretty much, whoops, that one wasn't working, pretty much all online, and there's a few reasons why I do that. Oops, where's the other one? Here we go. And mostly it's because of the fact that I'm not able to do home events anymore. I just can't plan that into my life due to some reasons revolving around family. All right, so I had to become all online, which is why I do a lot of Facebook Lives, and you know, and I've been maintaining a blog for years, so that works out really well. But I really depend on people like you to help me find new customers, so thank you. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping. So we're going to use our crumb cake ink pad here. And we're going to take this little guy from Snow Globe again. We're going to stamp. And the paper size is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is crumb cake. So we're going to stamp tone on tone. And let me grab a little piece of scrap paper here. And we're just going to stamp some random little snowflakes all around this outer edge. We don't need to stamp it so much in the middle because that will be covered up. So we just want to give a little touch of snowflakes like this. So there's one, and then we'll do one more. So thank you so much, everyone. Great to have you here today. What are you guys planning for Thanksgiving? We always go down to my sister-in-law's house for Thanksgiving, and I'll be bringing the pumpkin pie cheesecake and a broccoli salad. What about you guys? Do you have to bring something, or are you doing everything yourself? I'm kind of grateful I don't have to host it myself. I'm always so grateful. So this year I'm going to bring her a beautifully a gorgeous framed, it's a whole bunch of stamping things that are framed, and I'm going to give it to her as a thank you for always hosting every year. So another way you can use your Stampin' Up things to create beautiful thank you gifts for your hostess. All right, so before we actually, well, I think we can just go ahead and put this straight down onto our card fronts. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab the multi-purpose liquid glue and just put a little strip all the way around. And we'll just glue this one on here, and then we'll glue the other one really quickly. All right. So getting back to Thanksgiving, we pretty much spend the whole day. We have a big Bloody Mary bar that we start at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And that gets everybody in a pretty good mood. And then our turkeys are probably going to be brined all day, and then we deep fry them because they're just so succulent that way and so full of juice. So we love doing that too. Oh yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too. How nice of you to share. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next step here, and that is to grab, we're going to start working with our panel now. So I'm going to put this aside and we're going to work with our panels. So this again is Coastal Cabana, and it's 3 by 4 1/4 inches. Then we're going to grab a couple of pieces of real red paper that I've cut to 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So it's actually a 1/4 inch smaller than my Coastal Cabana panels. And before I went on this morning, I ran it through my die cutting and embossing machine with the subtle 3D embossing folder, which looks like this. And so it's something that you really probably can't see very well online with the video. However, it does give a nice subtle texture to the real red paper, which just kind of makes it look even more elegant. So I'm going to flip these over here, and we're going to just go ahead and glue this panel down. And we'll just wiggle this into place so all the sides are nice and even. And here's our second panel, and this is in place now. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to, grab some ribbon here. This is what will be used in the giveaway. So to get into the giveaway, share with me maybe what you're bringing for Thanksgiving or doing for Thanksgiving, or you can share where you're watching from. And then if you do, let me know if you've shared this video on your timeline. Let me know that you've shared so that I am aware of that, so you are counted in the drawing. So here we go. We're just going to take this, and this is the little drawing that we're going to do. So this is the braided trim from Stampin' Up, and I'll give away 2 yards of this to both of our winners along with the hand stamped card that we're making today. So what I did is I'm just making a cute little accent down here. And so I'm just cutting the braided trim a little bit bigger than the corner area. And then I'm folding it back around the corner and fastening it with some Scotch tape to the back side. So it will look just like this. And let me do the same thing on the other side here. And then we have to make bows. And it's so interesting. I made a bow video years ago, and I still get, in fact, I just got a comment yesterday on YouTube thanking me for showing her how to create a bow. So I'm going to do that today on this video. So what I do is I usually tie my bows directly off the spool, and there's a little less waste that way. And what I do is I fold it over, so I have a loop like this. And then I think the secret is you just bring this back loop around to the back. And then you bring it through underneath and you go like this and you have a really nice flat bow. So then all you have to do is just kind of make the sides of the bow as big as you want, and then you just trim it like so, and you have a perfect little bow. So I'm going to do this a little bit closer to the camera so you can see, because we're going to have two bows here. So let me bring it up to the camera. And again, I'm just folding it so it looks like that. And then, rather than wrapping it this way around, which I think is the more typical way, bring it around to the back side and over the top and then through. And you get a really flat bow. So that makes it really easy to stick onto your projects with a glue dot, and it's not kind of going all over the place. Sometimes, you know, if you don't do it that way, then your little tails don't go in the direction that you want them to. So these tails are very well behaved and work really well. Especially all you have to do now is add a glue dot. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got my glue dots here. So we're going to just put these onto the roll where the glue dots are, and then we're going to add them to that front panel. Debbie's telling me she'd like to get out of Minnesota. Well, we'd have to go a long ways because I think the whole country is going to have bad weather for Thanksgiving this year. I mean, it looked like, I think they said something like 22 million people were going to be affected by the poor weather. So, yeah, that's terrible. I feel sorry for anybody that's traveling. All right, so here is my second little bow. And again, I'm just grabbing it with the tip of my scissors off my roll of glue dots and just setting it right on top. And you have this cute little accent now on the bottom right of your front panel. So now what we can do is we can flip this over, and we're going to go ahead and add dimensionals to the back, and then we'll put this on our card. And again, it will help me eliminate a few piles off my desk here so that we can keep everything going. So I'm going to just add 5 dimensionals, so 1 in each corner and then 1 in the middle, so there's a little sturdiness through the middle. So let me go ahead and take all of these little dimensionals, peelies off. Oh, and some of you have to drive to get to places. You've got to drive on some of the secondary roads, which that can be a problem because they don't always get out and plow those as quickly as they do the main roads. So safe travels to everyone who does have to get out and drive a lot. Fortunately, Thanksgiving Day, they're going to have some time to get the roads decent because Thanksgiving Day isn't going to be too terrible from the sounds of it. It's really the day before Thanksgiving, which is why I'm going to be doing my grocery shopping today. Get that all done, which I'm sure everybody in Minnesota is deciding to do, so I'm sure the stores are going to be pretty busy. All right, so here we go. And now I'm going to set this out of the way, and we're going to work on the next thing. So the next thing that you'll need to do is grab a square of the Let It Snow Designer Series paper, and I just took a 4-inch square. That way you can get a whole bunch out of one sheet. And what I did is I ran it through my die cutting machine with, I'm trying to find it here, this little sprig. And I'll just put this over the top so you can see it. So I ran it through once like this, and then I ran it through again like this. So here are the 2 sprigs that I'll be using on the cards. So it easily gives you 2 sprigs out of 1 4-inch square. So then you can just pull these out. Oh, and oddly enough, I did this so that I would, what I did is I ran through 2 pieces of designer series paper at one time. I kind of forgot I did that. So I'm actually pulling away 2 sprigs. So I actually made 4 sprigs at one time. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So here's the first one. Hold on, this one didn't quite cut all the way through. So let me just help it along a little bit. I kind of forgot I had done this when I was prepping for it. All right, so I don't need that one. There's 2 on this side too, so I could actually make some extra cards. And this one just needs a little bit of help here. So sometimes if that happens to you, you can add a shim, and that will make sure that it continues to cut all the way through really well. But this has just that little piece, and I don't want to tear it. So I'm just going in with my scissors and finishing out that cut. There we go. So we have our 2 sprigs for our cards that we're making. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this silicone sheet that Stampin' Up! Carries, and I'm going to flip it over to the back side. And I want to add just a little bit of snail to the back. So I'm going to take my snail and I'm going to just make sure that I have, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of moving it so that I have just a little bit of snail here right on this edge. And I can go ahead and just add a little tiny bit to this. And it'll only stick on my paper here. It won't actually stick onto the silicone mat. So that makes it really easy. So I'm just adding a few little dabs of snail. So I'm going to do the same thing to this one. And the snail sticks really well, you guys, especially once it's been burnished down. So you don't need to put tons of it on. In fact, it sticks so well, it's even sticking to my fingers here and to my hand. So this is why you want to use the silicone mat, because if you were doing this on a piece of paper, it would probably be stuck really hard to that piece of paper, and then you'd have trouble getting it lifted off. All right, so let me get my... This one obviously wants to go on the card right away, so we're going to put that one on first. And we're going to just set it on like this so that we have just a little bit hanging over the edge here on the left, at the top, and down here at the bottom. There we go. Just press that in. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with this a little more well-behaved piece down here. So we're going to set this on here. Just like so. And then get that pressed in. All right, so there are the 2 cards. And now I'm going to set this aside again, because what we're going to do next is do a couple of cuts again with your die cutting machine, and we're going to be using the layering circles and the stitched shapes. And so what I did is, for the stitched shapes, I took again some shimmery white, or you could use whisper white, and I cut 2 circles. And I love this because it has these really pretty stitched edge. So I used the second largest one. And then over here, I wanted to put a little mat around that. So I used the scallop circles, and that looks like this. And it's just the tiniest little mat. See, you can just barely see the edge of that, but it looks really pretty and very elegant. So I did that with our layering circles. So we have 8 that are the straight edge and 8 that are the scalloped edge. And my goodness, what a good deal that is. Can you imagine how expensive that would be if it was all punches? But because it's a set of dies, it's only $35 for 16 different sizes. So I love that. All right, so let me do a little stamping here. So I'm going to grab the Itty Bitty sentiment that says thinking of you at Christmas, ink that up in real red. And what I love about stamping on circles is you don't have to worry about it being straight, because there is no straight line in a circle. So every time you stamp it, it's going to be perfect. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to flip this over. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to flip it over because I don't want to touch that ink quite yet. It might not be quite dry. So I'm going to put my snail right here onto my crumb cake circle. Then I can just take this circle. We're going to drop it right over the top. Just try to make sure that the edges are even. So if you're just holding it on one side, you can kind of just eyeball it. That looks good. And then we'll do the same thing for this one. And that looks pretty good too. Then flip it over and burnish it from the back. Notice how I'm very careful not to touch the ink because, you know, over the years you just learn not to touch ink until it has had a little bit longer chance to dry. All right, Jean is telling me she doesn't have the layering dies. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is something that I think is kind of important to add to your stash of supplies. They are really lovely. And I love how they also layer up with our stitched shape circles, because that is fun too when you can use two together. So now we're going to flip this over and we're going to add some dimensionals. So let me grab they were here because I used them once. I don't know where exactly they disappeared to. Oh, here they are. All right, so I'm going to add 3 dimensionals to the back of each circle. And remember, tomorrow I will do the drawing for the giveaway, which are the cards and the braided trim. So I'm going to take off my little peelies here, and then we're going to set this on our card, and then we only have one more thing to do and our cards will be completed. So let me bring the cards back into the picture, and we're just going to put this right here, just pretty much right in the center of that red panel. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that the right and the left are even, and we have about the same amount of distance from the top and the bottom and the right and the left, and then we'll just press that on. And we're going to do the same thing to this one over here. Just drop that in there. And now we're going to take your pick tool. We're going to take the little putty side and we're going to grab some metallic pearls. And last time I was on, we used the gold metallic pearls. This time we're going to use the silver, and we're going to put a whole bunch on our card. So we're going to add 5 pearls because we've got quite a big space up here. So we want to just add a little touch of pearls up here in this area. Then we're going to drop one down here, and we're going to put one over here, and then we've got a spot for one right there. So 5 pearls. It's always a good idea to keep your little accents in groups of 3s or 5s. Apparently the eye really craves an odd number when it comes to little accents. So that's what we're doing. We're just following the little arty rules for accents, which is keep it to an odd number. So we're just going to drop these in, and then one more right over here. And we're done. Here it is, the completed cards that I hope to mail out tomorrow or right after Thanksgiving, along with 2 yards of our lovely braided trim. So gorgeous. So thank you everyone so much for being a part of this Facebook Live. I really appreciate it. You guys are truly the best. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.